Welcome to the Did You Know series, episode 3. I'm Steve Schauer, Director of Development, joined by Courtney Mavey, Success Coach here at Freedom House Ministries, and today's topic is the Success Team. Courtney, let's jump right into it. Success Team, Success Coach, what is it?
Yeah, so our Success Coach title is a fancy term for case management. And so what we're really trying to do is get from the time people come into shelter to the time they leave, we're working alongside them to help them reach those goals, address barriers, and make sure their stay here is the most successful it can be.
Can you talk through, I've had many conversations with the families here, and sometimes you're going to get more of the nitty gritty of what really is going on in your role. When a family arrives here, can you talk through maybe some of the crisis, the turmoil that they are experiencing, maybe have never been in this situation before?
Yeah. So I would say 75 to 80% of our families are coming here from a place that's not meant for them to be sleeping. So we're having both parents and adults coming in with the trauma of sleeping in a vehicle, sleeping outside, just trying to get day to day to where they're going to be next. And so just addressing that barrier first and foremost, and the gratitude they have just to have a room that has 4 beds that they know they can come to every night. And then as we move on, addressing the other barriers they might be coming with, whether it's domestic violence, abuse, low income, loss of job, anything that might be bringing them into the shelter.
Can you talk through maybe, let's use the first week, right? Never been homeless before, you get in this situation, it's a new environment, new expectations, all these things are going on. What do maybe you do to help them just feel comfort and love and honor dignity in the first initial time frame before they kind of feel like they're in a good routine?
Yeah. So our success team has a really great habit of making people feel very welcome when they first enter our doors. And so whether that is having a stuffed animal on a bed for a kiddo so they feel more welcome into their room, having all of the basic needs already set up, and then just really touching base day after day when they're here, just making sure that we're providing the best support we can in their first week, because we know that first week can be very traumatic, whether they're coming from a place that might have been a friend's house or if they're coming from sleeping in their car. Either way, it's traumatic to enter the shelter and be here for a week.
Once families start getting settled in and you talk barriers and challenges, can you talk through what are the services, the resources that the Success Team provides for the families? Kind of a two-part question. What do we provide? And then if we don't have the abilities to, or what partnerships that we have in the community that we can connect?
Yeah, so within that first week, we're going to sit down, me and the parents of the family, to address goals. And we really try to come up with 3 goals: housing, income, and then whatever goal they choose that might be. And so for housing, we really try to get them connected with different organizations who can help with that, whether that's ICS, rapid rehousing programs, or otherwise just trying to get them plugged in with different goals that they see for themselves for housing. Income, we're really just trying to make sure within the first 30 days, do we have a stable income that can support your family? If not, what does that look like and what can we do? Can we help with applications? Can we help build your resume? We have a Money Made Simple program that helps families look at what their income is and how can they better support that. And then whatever goal they choose, whether that's mental health, whether that's physical health, or just their lifestyle, their parenting, how can we best address that and work with programs in the community to help that?
I am curious, could you share, you talked about housing and income. The third goal is up to the family.
Yeah.
What are some of those third goals that might be out there the community might not know about?
Yeah, so some families choose to focus on emotional support. How can they be more emotionally available for their kids or have a better emotional home for their kids to be raised in? Some parents choose to look at their physical health. How can they best address their physical needs to be able to be the best parent? Other parents might choose to look at parenting classes. Maybe they are realizing that their parenting skills aren't where they want them to be. How can they better address that? And so just different goals so parents can become the best adult they can be to best support their children.
The second part of that question, what partnerships do we have in the community, other nonprofits, agencies that you may pick up the phone and say, hey, I need some help?
Yeah, House of Hope is a really great program for us to work with. They offer different housing programs that really help us get plugged in with different residents. We have Safe Families or Family and Child Care of New or Northeast Wisconsin to help with parenting classes. We have the Joseph Project or the Department of Workforce Development to help with employment. So we're really working alongside in tandem with a lot of different resources to best get our families to that successful place they're trying to go.
Can you talk through when families do arrive, there are
Mhm.
times when they don't have that network, whether
Mhm.
it's friends or family for a variety of reasons. The instances where they come to you because you are available and you are there to help and be the support, we are at times an extension of their own family. Can you
Yeah,
talk
for
through that
sure.
component?
For sure. I think a lot of times when families are experiencing homelessness, sometimes, I shouldn't say a lot of times, sometimes they don't have family in town, they don't have friends, they're new to town, all different components that might be happening. And so when they walk in the door, we're the most support that they've had in a long time. And so how can us as a success team or as staff at Freedom House or even a community at Freedom House best come along to support that family, whether it's with just sitting down with them during a warm meal, offering childcare services, like volunteer services, all different services that could best support them so they feel like they have a supportive network to gain success.
Somewhat complex question that I'm hoping you can answer to make it a little bit simpler for the community that may have never experienced homelessness before or are living in poverty.
Mhm.
You and I had a conversation one day, and it was about living in survival mode.
Yeah.
3 meals a day, you have a warm room, you can get a
Mhm.
bus pass or a gas
Mhm.
card, you have case management services when you need it. And that may say, well, that's great, you have all these things. Why would you live in survival mode, right? Can you kind of talk through that component so the community might understand that it isn't as easy as you may think?
Yeah. So we know as an organization or a staff that homelessness in itself is a trauma. And so every day that somebody is at the shelter, they're actively still living in trauma because they don't know, am I going to get exited, even though we try our best not to exit families? Am I going to have another medical crisis? Is something going to happen with the school? I don't have a vehicle to get my child. So there's constant things running through parents' minds and children's minds too of like, what if I miss my bus? Then I have to go, like all different stuff that's happening that is not allowing them to feel, even though we provide a safe space, it's not necessarily allowing families to feel that safe space because, again, homelessness in itself is trauma, and just trying to get to tomorrow to get to stable housing in itself is a chore.
Can you talk through the ultimate end goal is stability, stable housing, independence, employment, all these things, right? What is the moment like when family comes in jingling those keys? What is that like?
Yeah, that's very nice. Those are my favorite days. We just had a family last week unexpectedly sign a lease, and to be able to celebrate with the families, to be able to again, Freedom House does a great job with the help of the community to be able to provide furniture to the family. So being able to say, here's a furniture list, what can we get you? And 99% of the time we're able to do that. So just to be able to celebrate with the family. And then my favorite part of the role is to be able to go to their home and help them move in. Or if I can't help them move in, going to visit after they move in, and the kids come running up and they're so excited. We just brought a family back here today, and as we're pulling in, they're like, we're back! And they were so excited to be here. So just being able to continue to offer that support even after they're stably housed, and to be able to celebrate that win with them is so wonderful.
Last question for you personally. This work can be very difficult. There's a lot of secondary trauma that you may experience with just the families and what they're going through. What joy do you get from this role in helping families navigate all the things that they're going through?
Yeah, I think the biggest part for me is that personal connection with every single person of the family, whether it's the parent or the toddler or the teenager, being able to have that connection of them being able to say, I know I can go talk to Courtney. And when I talk to them, them being able to feel safe, have a good time, whether it's through a craft, whether it's through a vulnerable conversation across the desk, just being able to build that connection with every single person of the family to make every single person feel seen and valued brings me a lot of joy, especially when I can be able to say, oh yeah, we do have a connection, even on the hard days.
Awesome. Thank you for what you're doing to help all the families here and those that will be coming in the future. For the Did You Know series, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. If there's any topics that you're interested in for future episodes, we can tackle those and explain more about what's going on here inside the walls at Freedom House Ministries. For Courtney and Steve, thank you for watching.
Bye.